Thanks, Debbie, for your time. And just letting you know that you're one of the senior executive and board level transformation advisor for over 25 years now, leading major technology and business transformation across APAC and Middle East. And you have served as Group CIO for Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Amatil as well. And now you have advises multiple organizations in Indonesia on digital strategy and enterprise transformation. So you've also been recognized globally, including receiving like the World CIO 200 Award. At the same time, according to a report by the World Bank, women actually make up less than a third of the world's workforce in technology. This aligns closely with insight from michaelpage, which indicates that 24% female representation in tech roles globally, and Indonesia slightly better at 30%. And fewer still hold leadership or a CTO level positions. So what does this theme mean to you personally and professionally?
So about this theme, personally, I see that women leadership in tech is about demonstrating ability and being comfortable with equality. Throughout my career, I always focused on delivering results and not defining myself by gender. So this is about being normalizing women's presence in technology, in technical and leadership, and being seen as equal contributors. So that's personally, while professionally, this team highlights the role of unconscious bias, especially in the leadership progression. This team enforce advancement must be looked at from performance and results, not stereotype. And women are given equal opportunity to lead, grow, and be trusted with responsibility.
Totally agree with that. I think the sense of impact often comes from our roots as well. And that brings me to the next part of my question. What first sparked your interest in technology?
To be honest, I need to go back to my background. So I was raised in a family that was very typical of the 90s, 70s family. Since very early young age, she repeatedly told us, my sister and me, that as girls, we must grow up as career women that could earn our own money, be independent, and have the flexibility to choose what we want to do and what we love. So fast forward, my career in technology itself was not something that I planned from the beginning. I did not grow up of dreaming of working in IT, in tech, but instead I took the opportunity on what was presented to me first, and happened to be the opportunity was in the tech space. So after graduating from university, I joined management trainee program in IT together with other around 80 fresh graduates. There we were exposed in real operations. We did not just sit behind us. We went out to manufacturing plants, distribution centers, warehouses. That was where I saw the power of technology.
Can you perhaps share a stereotype or barrier that you had to challenge in your early in your career?
One stereotype that I challenged early in my career was the belief that leadership in technology must have a certain way, very aggressive, very decisive, always confident, always certain, that were mostly associated with male. I still remember when we first about implement the biggest SAP project in the company. The initial reaction from the president director was to appoint a male leader. He was leading the biggest manufacturing plant in the country at the time. However, my direct manager had different opinion. He believed that I, who was the IT director at the time, was the right person to lead the project because my understanding of the business, the processes, and the people involved. Well, eventually, I got the opportunity to take on the role, and the outcome spoke for itself. The project was recognized as one of the most successful SAP implementations in the region. So since then, I've met it as a point to challenge the organization as to how they make appointments for leadership roles by focusing on delivery, performance, long-term results, not based on a specific predefined image of how leadership should look like. And in fact, when we had the engagement survey in the company, I found that the engagement score for the female employees was very, very low. And at that time, I was being the IT director and HR director at the same time at that time. So I worked together with female leaders in the company to form what we call as female warrior. This is the platform to help the female in the early in their career in the company to have the ability and confidence to step up and to really move up in the career ladder.
Can you share a story where your presence or perhaps your decisions helped shift mindsets or created more space and opportunities for other women in the organizations?
Yeah, so I noticed that in many, many meetings in several settings, women were present, but they were not influential in the sense of they were not contributed on how to shape the direction of the conversation. So this is the situation that I firstly also experienced myself, being in the boardroom, being female, local, and in the middle of the meeting where we have many senior leaders and mostly male, and also experience from other markets or other countries. So by reflecting from my own experience, I believe that this is not about women's issue, but how we can help to change the structure by, for example, really define who will present first and who will be asked first for input. As simple as by saying, let's hear her perspective first, that encourage women in the room to get the first opportunity and to be heard. So it is not about who the loudest in the room, but setting the culture that gives opportunity for everyone in the room to speak up and to be able to speak differently no matter what their gender are.
When you look at Indonesia's technology ecosystem, Debbie, especially with rapid growth and increasing investments, um, what meaningful changes do you hope to see in the next 5, 10 years for women in STEM?
When I look at the Indonesia tech ecosystem, what encouraging is the advancement in technology, and especially with AI, has made the technology easier to use, to learn, and to access. And if we compare in the past, when we want to enter STEM, particularly in tech, that often meant deep technical specialization. While today, AI is helping to bridge the gap between core technology and real-world applications. This increases and the opportunity and also lowers the barrier of women entering the technical space and give more opportunity for women to participate meaningfully in the tech space itself. So as we know, we now see that technology and AI being applied in many areas such as data analysis, business intelligence, process automation, and including creative industries like content creation, marketing, education. So
Mm.
I see that this shifts is actually even today really encouraging to support women in STEM, because when we talk about technology, it's no longer defined as a narrow definition as technical, but this gives the opportunity for women to participate by connecting technology with people, with users, that gives more impact to the community. But what I want to see further to improve is about the change of mindset. Change of mindset meaning that when we are in the situation of choosing who will be the right leader, when we want to appoint someone, when we want to find great talent, it's no longer about something that fits the stereotype, but it is about who can make technology works for people and for the society.
Thank you for being such a powerful example of what authentic, intentional leadership looks like. Thank you, Debbie.